and do not reflect the views of BronxNet or the program underwriters.
BronxNet. Your voice, your views, your vision.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to Open, the one and only talk show bringing the best of the Bronx, New York, and the world straight to you. I'm Reina Valentin, your host and Café con Leche, and today will be a fun day of the arts. First up, our good friend Gail and I will talk about the last days of Bronx Week 2013 and how you at home can participate in the grand finale. We'll highlight even more of Bronx Week in our Open Weekend preview. Then we'll talk to the Smart Ladies of Black Latina, a play about finding out who we really are. Tribute artist and filmmaker Jamil Pridgen will join us to discuss some of his featured work. And the Open Artist Spotlight shines on a poet with some heartfelt words, and Bobby C wraps up the show with the always up-to-date sports roundup. So stay tuned. All that fun is coming your way because now we are officially open. Welcome to Open. Reina Valentin, your host in Café con Leche, here for the next hour. And, well, Bronx Week is coming to a close. But we've got the best events that are happening in the closure and around the city in our Open Weekend preview. First up, the Montefiore Teddy Bear Hospital. Geared for children under 12, this day of learning will help the families
by ambulance
stuffed animals feel much better while also teaching children safe ways of keeping themselves healthy and happy. That's Saturday, May 17th at 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. at Montefiore Wakefield Division, which is at 600 East 233rd Street. And you can find out more information by going to montefiore.org. Next, the Grandparents' Ball. Come make a difference in the lives of the older generation while also having a fun time yourself. Hosted by New York One's Cheryl Wills, it's all starting Saturday, May 17th at 12:30 p.m. and it wraps up at 6 p.m. and that's happening at the Andrew Freeman Mansion at 1125 Grand Concourse. And for more information, you can check out gatw.org. That's gatw.org. And finally, the grand finale of Bronx Week on Sunday, May 18th, the grand finale, Bronx Weeks of Bronx Week of 2013's Bronx Week, that is, starts with the induction ceremony on the steps of the Bronx County Building at 11 a.m., followed by the concert and food festival, and that's happening from noon to 6 p.m. Once again, that's from noon to 6 p.m. at Marshall Parkway and Bainbridge Avenue, and it's free, people. And at the same time, I told you it was the grand finale, so the annual Bronx Week Parade will be happening also on Marshall Parkway East at Van Cortlandt Avenue, and make sure you just head out there. That's all happening on Sunday simultaneously. That's right. And like I said earlier, it's free. And for more details and more information on what is happening in the remainder of Bronx Week, you can go to ilovethebronx.com. ilovethebronx.com. And, well, with Bronx Week coming to a close and the Bronx Ball and Walk of Fame set to honor Bronxites, it seems that, well, the lesson is to take away, the lesson to take away is to actually be proud of where you come from, right? I mean, Gail, are you there? Would you agree, darling Gail? Hello and welcome. You totally agree.
Absolutely. Why would you not be joyous and want to celebrate where you're from?
You know what's really cool, Gail? What's really cool about what the Bronx Borough President does is that he actually honors people who didn't forget where they come from, you know? And you bring them back no matter where they've ended up, and as far as in different parts of New York, the States, the world, wherever they are, they come back to the Bronx for this one occasion. And I just think it's a beautiful ceremony that they have, and just to be documented and, you know, like stamped, this is where I originated from. It's a beautiful thing.
It is a beautiful thing. It's wonderful to acknowledge that the Bronx is a beautiful place. It's the place to be. I was telling that to a friend the other day. Excuse me, Rena, I have allergies. My voice is a little off today.
I hear you. It's all good. You're not the only one. It's that time of the year, you know, pollen season. And I think the spring is finally kicking in. I hope.
I'm not quite sure. It's cold. It's hot. It's cold. It's hot.
Yeah. So, you know, the inductees this year are actually Helen Barkin, right? Helen Barkin,
yes.
who is, I don't know if you guys remember her. I remember her from the film The Sea of Love with Al Pacino. But it's always cool to know that who comes from the Bronx. When, you know, when you see them on the big screen, you don't realize that these people originate from the Bronx. And then we have Miguel Amadeo, right?
Oh, yes, from Casa Amadeo. He's a very prolific music artist and producer. It's amazing.
And do you know who the third person is?
I'm sorry, I didn't hear you.
Do you know who the third person is? We have there's 3 inductees this year, right?
Yeah, there are, but it slips my mind at the time.
Oh, it's actually, who is it? Is it Biz Markie? Is it Biz Markie?
It might be.
Is it Biz Markie?
I don't think so.
No, well, I know Biz Markie is performing at the Marshallou Parkway.
I'm so excited for the parade on Sunday. Oh my goodness. I am so going to join the arm wrestling competition.
The arm wrestling competition? You're hilarious. Are you all worked out for that? You're
Do you see my arms? My arms are ridiculous.
Let me see. Are they super toned? Look at you. Well, you know what you look like? You look like you do a lot of yoga. I'll be honest with you. Your cut, your physique, you look like a person that does yoga.
I try, but it's a little too quiet for me.
It's a little
I like to be active and moving about and jumping around.
And obviously, you know, wrestling with men too. I mean, what is that, arm wrestling with men? I mean, the majority of the people who arm wrestle are men, but I think it's liberating to know that, you know, our animated Gail wants to actually arm wrestle. I think that's so cool.
I just think it's really cool that there's going to be an actual competition for arm wrestling. I think it starts at 12 and it goes to 3 o'clock, and it's going to be at the Marshallou Parkway during the parade, and it's going to be fantastic.
Okay, so, you know, in case anyone's watching and they've never been to this event, this is an event that's happening all day long. It starts at 12 and it goes till 6, and there's a parade that happens that's so beautiful and so festive, but then there's this whole area of just food and fun and festivities, and just you can try all kinds of foods, I mean, from all walks of life. And then as Gail mentioned, there's going to be arm wrestling, and then they have a main stage, and they have like these big time performers. Biz Markie will be one of the performers, you know. He, I think, is a beatboxer or something, right?
Oh yes, he's very famous in the hip hop world.
Yeah, but he's a beatboxer, like
this. Yes.
I'm not.
Is that your beatboxing, Rena?
Yeah, I tried.
Do it again. Oh yeah.
Yeah, something like that.
I love it. I love it. You're so much better than me at that. Well, I can't do it for
you know, I try to get down. You know, I try to keep young. You know, that's my way of being with the times. Being with the times. And so the Bronx Week actually was very successful. There are so many events going on all week long, and you know, were you able to attend any of them, just in case, you know, anybody's interested in attending next year, because they had a fabulous film festival, I was told.
There was a fabulous film festival. I definitely went to check out the Fair and Square last weekend that I know you were hosting at.
Yes, that we got rained out.
Oh,
we got rained out.
I got there before the rain.
Yeah, well, so did I, but we still got rained out. We closed earlier.
It was totally cool. There was like rock climbing thing, and there was food and vendors. It was, and big. what was that called? The
bouncy
houses?
bouncy ball.
I
Yeah,
had
the
so much
bouncy
fun.
houses. There was a lot of them. Yeah, I felt like being a big kid that day.
I love bouncy. You can't help but like be a big kid when there's a bouncy house around.
Of course. And did you try the rock climbing?
There was such a long line, and I have this thing about being online, so no. But I definitely took a picture, and it would look really cool. Everybody was having a really good time.
Yeah, yeah. What's your thing with standing online?
You know, as a New Yorker, you hurry up to wait all the time,
I
and I really can't take it. I can't take it.
You know, I
sometimes.
so dig you, girl. I so dig you. I really do, because I'm there with you. It's like, come on. You know, when do I have time to wait on a line for a ride that's only going to take a minute, you know?
Exactly, like rush, and wait.
Yeah, and then when you get it in, it's over.
Yep, exactly. No,
Unbelievable.
moving on. But
Yeah.
you know what I did? I did meet someone at the fair
Mhm.
who has a alternative medicine office
Mhm.
in the Westchester Square area, and he was telling me all about his practice and the cool things that happen when you do acupuncture and Chinese medicine, and I'm very interested in pursuing that for my health.
Oh my goodness, I'm so looking into that myself. Oh, we definitely have to tap into that a little further, but we don't have the time to do it today. But I'm all about that alternative medicine right now. I actually visited with a naturopathic doctor, and that's actually going to be coming up in an episode of Rena Gets Lean. Remember, I shared something about the blood types. Well, you know, alternative medicine, believe it or not, includes massages as well.
Absolutely, because you can do massages in different parts of your body according to alternative medicine, and it affects you internally. When you do the foot massages, different points on your foot correlate with different points inside your body, and maybe even your mental, your soul. It's very interesting to like look into.
Absolutely. All right. So you know what, Gail, they're wrapping me up here, and I'm always so fascinated to just have these intense conversations about anything that's about wellness and fitness, and of course, just partying, right? Because that's what we've been doing all week at the Bronx Week festivities, and we're closing out this weekend. But I look forward to having you on next Friday and maybe discussing our alternative medicine topic a little further.
That sounds fantastic. I'd love to talk about it.
All right. Thanks, Gail. Woo! All right. Once again, for more on Bronx Week, you can check out ilovethebronx.com. We'll be back with more open, but first, a new habit to form in a teaser for the next episode of Rena Gets Lean.
Ready and go! Out back, out back, out back, out back, out back. Keep moving. 3, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Check the floor.
Oh no. Today's healthy habit to form. Eat smaller portions. Bigger is not better. For tonight's dinner, my meat portion will be equal to the size of my fist.
Hi, I'm Darren Jaime, the host of Open on Wednesdays, and we invite you to join us as we explore in the world of news, politics, and current events every Wednesday at 10 a.m. here on Open.
Big dreams and good grades aren't enough to get into college. There are actual steps you need to take. Finding someone who can help is the first and most important. For the next steps, go to knowhowtogo.org.
G-Morning, sunshine. Wakey, wakey. Text me. Are your parents home later? We can hang. LUV, love you. JK. Holla back. Holla back. Holla back. Are you with your friends? That's lame. We're in a huge fight right now. XO. What'd you dream about? Something I did. Are you on your way to the mall? I'm lonely. Nude pics. Send me some. Text me.
Okay. Well, I must be careful. Well, that's a nice picture.
whole family too. If you've fallen behind on your mortgage, we can help. Call 1-888-995-HOPE because nothing is worse than doing nothing.
Underneath everything we are, underneath everything we do, we are all people, connected, interdependent, united. And when we reach out a hand to one, we can influence the condition of all. That's what it means to live united.
Hello, welcome back to Open. Our next guests are part of the Bronx Festival of the Arts. We have tribute artist of Michael Jackson and filmmaker who was discovered on YouTube, and he joins us today. The film, he created The Doors Wide Open, as well as his most recent project, A Soldier of the Arts. We welcome Jamil Pridgeon, and with him, we have the executive director of the Bronx Festival of the Arts, Jason Minos. Hello and welcome, gentlemen.
Hello. Hi.
Hi. Well, Jason, we had you on before, but thank you for joining us again. Obviously, the Bronx Festival of the Arts is starting to really pop because we're getting closer to the opening, right?
Yeah, and we're going to have the music event here in this studio. We're going to have about 10 to 12 different musicians, and Rise and Grind Bookings are putting that together, actually. So
nice. Well, we'll talk about that a little later while we discuss your new found artist, right? He told me you found him on YouTube or something?
I found him on the street.
You found him on the street? Oh my God.
No, I found,
That's what it's all about here in New York.
I live in a house, I swear.
No, I think it's pretty cool though, because that's how it's done, you know?
Yeah.
So, no, tell me about how you found him before we even get into
Actually, we met in Riverdale, because we both live in Riverdale.
Right.
Yeah.
And we started talking one day, and you know, I always bring up Michael Jackson. He knew a lot about him. We just talked about all the concerts and tours and everything. So I said, you know, my girlfriend and I, we were actually during Hurricane Sandy. We were in a house, and we started filming. And I recorded one of Michael's songs. I tried to sing it like him. So we started dancing and everything, and she was filming, and we just started putting story to it after story, and it turned out to be almost an hour long. And I put it on YouTube December 25th, and it got like 1,900 hits. People loved it. It got great reviews. If you go on YouTube, Soldier of the Arts, you see all the nice reviews that people. And Michael Jackson, I have a clip of him. He's actually in the film with me.
Wow. So when did you meet Michael Jackson?
I met Michael twice. I met him in the airport when I used to work in Kennedy, and I also met him in the Virgin Megastore signing.
And he let you document him?
Well, actually, somebody else they were filming it, and we saw
okay.
on YouTube. And I just I took all the films I had and I found, and I just put them on YouTube and just made a film out of it. You know, I don't make any money off the films. It's just tribute films for fun, and that's all it's for.
Okay, so you made one, it got all these hits, and now you're gonna be part of the Bronx.
I started making a second one. Yes.
Okay,
and
so
now I'm gonna be part of the Bronx Festival Arts.
which is the Doors, right?
Yeah, the Doors Wide Open.
The Doors Wide Open.
Jason's actually in the movie. He plays one of the spirits who battles me in Michael Jackson dance moves. Actually, he's pretty good, actually, too.
Okay, so
I'm good as a ghost.
Yeah, he's very scary.
Yeah, you look like.
I look like a ghost?
No, I was gonna say you look like you would be good as a ghost. I did.
He was great, actually. Because you see him sitting here, and he's nice and quiet and everything. When you see him on camera, he looks terrifying.
Really?
Yeah. If you didn't know him, you'd be like, oh,
it wouldn't be the hair, would it?
Yeah.
Actually, partly, yeah. And actually, there's trailers for Soldier of the Arts and for The Doors Wide Open on YouTube, and Soldier of the Arts became featured on YouTube also.
All right, so just to get this straight, so you're actually a dancer who does Michael Jackson imitations, right? Or tributes to Michael Jackson.
I would call myself an impersonator.
Right.
I see some of those guys, they'll blow me away.
Okay.
I can sing a little like him, I can dance a little like him, and I was always a fan. I never hid that I was a fan, even when he went through his tough times. I always loved him, and I didn't care who was around, who saw me dancing and singing like him.
Okay, so now you made a film, and now you're spirits, and you're playing Michael Jackson.
I'm alive. The first one, my girlfriend was a spirit, and the second one, I'm being challenged by 3 spirits from the afterworld. They're coming to battle me and dance. If not, they're going to take my soul away.
Interesting.
And I'm actually making part 2 and 3 at the same time. Part 3 will be called Return of the Soldier. That'll be out in 2016.
Return of the Soldier.
Yeah, but The Doors Wide Open will be released on YouTube October 31st, 2014, Halloween.
Nice. It sounds so fascinating. I'm so curious to know, where did the concept come from?
Right out of my head. I make this stuff up as I go along. That's
really.
My girlfriend's the fastest typer I've ever seen.
Nice.
And I can't type and think of the stuff at the same time. So I said, honey, will you please sit down and type this for me? She goes, okay. And I said, blah, 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 blah. And she did part 1, part 2, and part 3 for me. She put it on her computer. And actually, the first time we did it, it got knocked out of her computer, so I had to sit and do it all over again. And It's working so far.
Oh my
It's coming out pretty
goodness!
good.
Wow.
And he's
yeah.
seen the trailers for part 2. Like he didn't, because you know we filmed him, of course, but he didn't see the trailers.
Right.
And the other day I let him watch the trailer. He was like, he was happy. So that made me feel good.
I can totally see you.
And I put
your girlfriend going to mall a minute just by
she can type
listening
really
to
fast.
you.
It's unbelievable.
Power couple, we love that. We love power couples. Wepa. So, Jason, how do you select your artist?
Luck?
Yeah. Yeah.
Luck?
Yeah, I mean, I just, you know, I wanted to link everybody I knew first in the Bronx, and yeah, I knew a bunch of people just from going to different events and shows in the Bronx, and you know, the other part of that is also just, you know, running into people randomly sometimes too. So.
You know, so you mentioned there's going to be a special here at BronxNet with musicians,
Yeah.
and then we have a poet that's going to be performing later.
Yeah.
So how long is the festival going to run, and where is it running, and how do you situate the different acts? Because obviously you brought a filmmaker, and you know, obviously you're covering all genres of the arts.
I
So.
forgot. Can I say one thing? The
Okay.
Festival of the Arts. There's a trailer for that also, for the Bronx Festival of the Arts on YouTube.
Yeah.
You type Bronx Festival of the Arts, and at the end of the trailer, it's a 30, maybe no, it's like 15, 17 seconds long, and there's the website is at the end of the trailer also.
Yeah. Well, you know, we're just going to have. It's going to, first of all, it's May 31st to June 2nd.
Right.
So it's Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. So it's going to be different locations around the borough. So a couple things might overlap, a couple events, but I think we did pretty good in spacing everything out, because like the Bronx Orchestra is playing on Sunday afternoon, and then Molly Morkowski, classical pianist, is playing at the Bartow Pell Mansion House Saturday afternoon, and then Friday afternoon is the event that takes place here. So, yeah.
Yeah, no, this is great. See, Bronx Week is over, but the Bronx celebration continues.
Shall continue.
Yeah.
The saga continues.
So
Yeah, and I mean, this is quite different from Bronx. I mean, I think Bronx Week is great, you know, but this is different. We really want to put the unsung artists of this borough, you know, out there. Just give them a bigger stage, and because there's a lot of talent going under the radar. So you know.
Right. No, I think it's great. It's great. It's great, and we applaud you for doing it, because you know it takes something to put a festival like that up, and the fact that you are going for the ones that aren't necessarily recognized for their work and talents is a beautiful thing. You know, but there's a balance. You know, we have the ones that have moved on and come back to remind us that, you know, anything is possible, and then we have the up and coming, and that's what this is all about, and that's why we're here with you showcasing it. So thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. And so where can people see the films?
They're all on YouTube.
The trailers.
The trailers are all on YouTube. You can just type MJ Jamil, MJ Jamiel. The trailers are on YouTube. You can even go on my Facebook, which is the same thing, MJ Jamil or Jamil Pridgeon. Any Michael Jackson fan can add me. I don't care. I do my own Facebook, so I don't have a fan book page. I think it's got to be like maybe 8 trailers on there so far for both films.
Nice. So you can just sit there and click away.
Sit
And the
there.
Bronx Festival information is on the website?
BronxFestivaloftheArts.com.
Awesome. Great.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, gentlemen.
Thank you
All
very
right.
much.
Once again, the Bronx Festival of the Arts will be taking place from Friday, May 31st through Sunday, June 2nd. And for more information, you can visit BronxFestivaloftheArts.com. And if you want more on Jamil, you can follow him on Twitter at Jamil Pridgeon. We have to take a quick break, but when we return, we'll get a preview of what Black Latina is all about. Don't go anywhere.
Historically, the Bronx Week, as you know, has been going on for 41 years. And historically, the African community have not been a part of the Bronx Week. So in 2010, in order to showcase the diversity of the continent in the Bronx, we organized a soccer tournament. So it's been going on for 4 years now, and it's been very successful.
Today we have a Senegal is playing Guinea. It's chosen an event that will bring more African to the table. And one of the event was again the soccer tournament. Soccer bring people together. So for that reason, we figured that the soccer was something that we could start off with. And for that reason, we set up, we organized the soccer tournament, and the event has been going great so far.
But once the tournament keeps to grow and gets the attention of Asians and the Hispanic community, it's going to get bigger. So I'm looking forward to that.
Hi, this is Jeff Fox for 107.5 WBLS. And when I get off the radio, I check out my man, the Dr. Bob Lee and Cool Clyde. It's open on BronxNet. I never miss it.
Megan, you're a tramp. Ryan Fitch told me you guys made out. Everybody knows. He says you're the most desperate girl he knows, besides your mom. How many boyfriends does she have anyway? Lots? That zit is huge. Zit face. Ugly.
Take my hand and start a brand new day. And together as one we'll start to see some change.
Underneath everything we are, underneath everything we do, we are all people, connected, interdependent, united. And when we reach out a hand to one, we can influence the condition of all. That's what it means to live united.
2 outs with a runner on first base. Now the big guy comes off the bat, hitting .342 with 92 RBIs and 36 homers. First pitch is out.
Chill raw and prepared foods promptly. 1 in 6 Americans will get sick from food poisoning this year. Keep your family safer. Check your steps at foodsafety.gov.
Big dreams and good grades aren't enough to get into college. There are actual steps you need to take. Finding someone who can help is the first and most important. For the next steps, go to knowhowtogo.org.
Hello, welcome back to Open. Reina Valentin here, and whether truly Afro-Latina or just dark-skinned, the battle of the Black Latina in today's society and even fighting against old country concept is tough. That's right. So the new play called What Else, right? Black Latina, tries to bring some of these struggles to the forefront, that is. And today we have Crystal, Denise, and Anaridia on set to discuss what this play is all about. Thank you for joining us, ladies.
Thank you for having us. Hi.
Now, Black Latina actually premiered in January, right? You guys had a run in January. And you all play different roles of Black Latina. So, Crystal, would you like to begin with your character and what you represent?
Actually, the show was started in 2008,
right.
And it was a one-woman show that I wrote and produced, and I performed it. And then trying to, develop it and change it up a little bit, we decided to enter different characters. And so now we broke it down. Our great director, Veronica Casedo, she broke it down and made it 5 characters.
Nice.
So these women play 2 of the characters.
Nice, nice, nice. And so what are the backgrounds of these characters?
They're developed into emotions.
Okay.
So there's anger, sad, love, and empowered.
Nice.
And you see the transition of the struggle of being angry by either yourself, self-loathing yourself, or the way society makes you feel being closed in and boxed in. And then going through that sadness, your family not, accepting it, that internalized racism, to them being in love and empowered and just embracing who you are. So these ladies go on that journey.
Okay, so Denise, what do you consider a Black Latina?
I think it's different for every person, and I think the most important thing about this piece that Crystal has created is that everyone can find themselves in the work. I happen to be Black and Russian, and just being biracial and bicultural, I found that it hit home for me personally as well.
And in what sense? Is it the actual emotional struggle, the internal struggle of not necessarily belonging to one or the other?
It's definitely that. I think everyone tries to find out who they are in this lifetime, and then having your parents contribute in different ways, it's definitely a complex journey.
Yes.
Right.
Yes. Of trying to find yourself and fit in and redefine who you can be.
And you're from Dominican Republic.
Yes.
It's Anaridia.
Anaridia.
Anaridia. I knew that was going to happen. I told you it was going to happen. Anaridia. So
Yeah.
coming from Dominican Republic, right? And I'm just going to use this as an example because, you know, I can identify, obviously, because I'm a Black Latina, right? So the hair plays a role. And you wore your hair curly today, as
Yes.
did I, right?
Yes.
And so it's kind of like, you know, there's a relation there, right? And then there's somebody within your space or where your family maybe even that is white and has blonde hair.
Mm-hmm.
Is there racism in that factor?
Well, it's funny that you mentioned the hair part because actually being in Black Latina has actually made me embrace my hair.
Mhm.
When I used to live in Dominican Republic, my hair used to be straight all the time. My dad, or my family, if they see me like that, they will be like, here's the money, go to the salon. You know, it's not really adaptable. It's not really what it happens. And just being in the play made me embrace my beautiful hair that I can just wear it and have it curly and enjoy it. And it's just amazing. And I feel happy to be able to do that
Good for
and
you.
embrace it, you know? Yeah.
I think that's a big revelation
Yeah.
because, you know, the beauty of having curly hair is that you get to wear it both
Both
ways.
ways, and it's amazing. That's true.
And those people pay hundreds of dollars to get it like
Yeah,
that. ¿Por qué? You know?
Exactly.
So, you know what's really beautiful about what you shared in describing the play and the actual characters is that you referenced adversity, not necessarily the racism or the cultural backgrounds, right? Because I believe you have characters that are like Afro-Brazilian and really what it's about actually having some type of component of your black heritage showing through.
Absolutely.
Because, you know, the majority of us come from the motherland, you know?
Absolutely.
Yeah. But that's another conversation for another day. All right, you can tap into it a little bit. But Crystal, I just tap into the actual assimilation of using those emotions to the different character cultural backgrounds.
Well, what I did was I made it more about all of the different, whether you were Cuban, Dominican, Brazilian, whatever you were, what was the one thing that we could all agree on? Was the pain, was the love, was the sadness? So making it about the emotion connection that we all share because of the half and half identity. So once that was developed more, then, you know, a Cuban could say, I love that. I could identify with Puerto Ricans who feel that way. And it was more about keeping the fact that we're diverse, but that one issue, that was the thread that helped all the way. Because like Anaridia said, you know, she's Dominican, I'm Puerto Rican, but we still understand that with each other because, you know, those countries come from the motherland.
Right, it's true, it's true. And so Tanish, just because you're Black Russian, how does it, you know, associate with you? I mean, just, it's obviously the motherland, that's the association. However, just the fact that you're in the presence of Black Latinas, right? Is Spanish being spoken? You speak Spanish?
Un poquito y mal.
It's the second most important language in New York, okay?
Definitely. And, you know, I've learned a lot from these ladies, but I think, you know, as an artist, you are asked to step into certain situations, and I could bring some of my history to the table. But it was important that the collaboration was fresh and it was new and it was exciting as we went through these emotions.
It's wonderful. I salute you ladies, and you know, of course, the women empowerment behind it, it stands by itself as well. So where are we going to see this play, and when is it actually being revived?
We're coming back in the fall, September 4th through 8th.
Nice.
At Urban Stages on 258 West 30th Street. And the ladies will be performing per 6 performances, 5 nights. And we come back out, we do it again, we rock out.
Nice. So next time we have to have Judy Torres on the show.
Yes.
Right? We forgot to mention freestyle artist Judy Torres.
Yes, is in the show. Yes, yes. And she
Does
brings
sing?
an
Does she
amazing.
sing?
She sings. Yes.
Yeah.
She opens the show up with some song.
Now with there's no reason for you to.
She gets mad. That's our house music, and she gets mad every time we open house.
Oh my goodness. Okay, so thank you so much for being here with us.
Thank you for having us.
To share what the website with everyone so they can actually review all the
www.blacklatina.movement.com.
Beautiful. Thank you once again.
Thanks.
All right. Thank you. Once again, you can find out more about Black Latina by going to blacklatinamovement.com, and we'll be right back with Well, we have Open Artist Spotlight coming up. Yeah, it's early in the show, but don't you go anywhere. We'll be right back.
Westchester Square community celebrated the 5th annual Fair at the Square. Families came out and enjoyed a day of music, workshops, dancing, food, and activities.
First of all, you want to create top-of-mind awareness, not just to the community itself, but those surrounding the community. We want to promote more foot traffic here in the area and keep everybody here and shopping in the Bronx.
New York City Parks Department set up Zumba classes, face painting, hula hoops, and other activities where the community can join in, free of cost.
Your turn. We provide recreational activities, face painting, mancala, board games, you name it, we have it.
Fair in the Square is not only in celebration of Bronx Week, but it's also a great way to bring the community together. And what better way to bring people together than food?
We have macaroni and cheese, we have rice and beans, we have yellow rice. And you know, we all come together as one, and we just dance together.
If staying in shape after eating all the delicious food at the fair is a concern, you could take part in a little rock climbing to burn off the extra calories.
This is our most fun event. You know, the kids are having a great time. It makes us look like kids out here too, because we have a great time with it also.
The 5th annual Fair at the Square provided activities that people of all ages could enjoy together with their families on Mother's Day weekend. Raymond, are you having fun?
Yeah.
What did you do today?
I play the Uzbek or the other end, and I go in there.
And everyone's having a good time. The merchants are happy, the people that are coming here are happy, and it's a good thing. It's a good thing for us.
People from all over the Bronx came and enjoyed a day of family fun. This is Issa Marie Cervera reporting for BronxNet.
Did you find the flashlight and the batteries?
Yes.
Did you make sure we're not missing anything in the first aid kit?
Yup.
Did you go through the plan with the kids again?
Yes.
The more you prepare today, the more you'll be able to reduce the devastating effects of a tornado, an earthquake, a power outage, or any other disaster.
Hello, welcome back to Open. It is now time for our Open Artist Spotlight.
The Open Artist Spotlight is made possible in part with public funds from the Bronx Council on the Arts through the New York State Council on the Arts Decentralization Program.
Our open artist is a master of words, and we'll be showcasing some of these at the Bronx Festival of the Arts. Here to read a selection of his poems, please welcome to our open stage, Christopher Dennis!
Hello, hi, my name is Christopher Dennis, and I'm a poet. I've lived in the Bronx my entire life. And I'm going to read something that is like an experience that so many of us have had when we've been on the subway and we observe other people. This is called Reflection. The sad face of a dark-haired young woman weeping in a subway car. Her tormented look disappearing behind inquisitive lights of street lamps flashing by. That face obscured by chromium bars one holds on to for dear life as the train rushes to an abrupt stop. It is late. She is alone. So am I. The glance across the plastic, metal, linoleum space. Another tired human looking up when down would suffice. There's something over there, maybe, a bit of human punctuation to this quick ride, going nowhere, which, after all, is someplace. We are now both the tiny space lost between rubber edges of the train's doors when they shut, an interface signifying something. Her tears have ceased, mine are ready to begin. Strangers, not yet foes, a mingling of faint odors, nothing more. Thank you. Thank you.
Christopher Dennis, thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. So you're going to be part of the Bronx Festival of the
Yes,
Arts.com.
that's correct.
And .com, that's the website. I'm like promoting the festival. I just love the diversity that's being actually showcased. And so I'm just curious, like, where did they find you?
Where did they find? Well, Jason actually Jason the founder is actually like a nephew to me. I carried him out of the hospital when he was born many, many years ago. So he turned to me when we began to talk about his idea of creating the Bronx Festival of the Arts. And I have a long background in television and in journalism, so he asked me for help and I was happy to do so. Now at this late point in my life, I'm more concentrated on my art, which is poetry.
Beautiful. So how long have you been writing poetry?
Good Lord, I've been writing poetry close to 50 years.
Close to 50 years. Don't you feel that poetry is something that we kind of all have inside of us? Like, it's just a matter of putting it on paper?
I suppose that that's true, yeah. I think for everyone it manifests in a different way. If you're a musician, like Jason is, if you're a writer like I am, sooner or later it comes out. But it all comes boiling from that desire to express something you feel down deep inside that is you, that's wholly and completely you. And you have to find your voice and then be courageous enough to go out there and express it.
Yeah, that's what it's all about here in the arts. And so what do you hope people leave with when they hear your words, and what inspires your words?
It's interesting you say that. It's people. As a poet, I'm always looking, I'm always observing. If I'm on the subway, if I'm walking in the street, I'm looking at people and I'm hoping that they're going to show up for me and be themselves. And from them being themselves, I can find something of myself, my humanity in that as well. They inspire me. And I think the same goes for musicians and anybody else who considers themselves to be an artist.
Yes, yeah, I was just going to share that because that's actually how artists get fed, right?
That's exactly right.
And there's a sensory that we have open, and I'm just sharing this because we have the Girl Scouts here, right? And right, you're the Girl Scouts? Yes, I know. They're like, oh my gosh, you're scaring me out. So just so that you ladies take this away with you, and for our viewers, we have a live audience in-house today. And that is that when you are an artist, you tend to look at things differently and be a little more sensitive to details in just people.
You know, sensitivity, it's true. Artists, I think, are people who are porous, meaning that their skin, their breathing, their five senses is more open than the average person who's just trudging off to work. So we take in the mystery of what's there. We take in the differences. We see the colors perhaps a little bit more deeply, and we listen to the music a little more closely. Because all of those things, like I live near Van Cortlandt Park here in the lovely Bronx. I go and walk in the park and it inspires me. The birds singing and just the trees, that's enough alone for me to be overwhelmed, and it causes me then to go home and write something.
Beautiful, and your words were so inspiring,
Thank
as
you.
is your voice.
Thank you very much.
Thank you for being here on set with us and sharing it.
Absolutely, my pleasure.
And once again, you're also going to be at the Bronx Festival of the Arts.
That's true.
.com. Now we can add the .com. That's for more information, of course. And for more on Christopher Dennis, you can email him at cpd1@hotmail.com. We do have to take a short break, but we'll be right back with Bobby C. and Sports Roundup. Don't go anywhere.
The We the People photography exhibit presented a platform to tell the stories of citizens living in public housing. The minds behind the exhibit spoke to us about the missions and the experiences of developing this project.
The focus of the project is really to give people who have always felt that they've not had a voice, a platform, and give them the mic to say exactly what they want to say about their experiences, where they come from.
I feel like I became a totally different person. Like the way I look at the housing project, the way I look at the people, and it's totally changed my life.
Staff members of the School of New Resources, College of New Rochelle, spoke to us on how the school supports these artists.
We feature new artists, and we have an opportunity for the students at the School of New Resources to Q&A, to ask questions to the artists and get a real sense of what was behind the artists when they decide to do this exhibit.
Knowing the history of Gordon Parks and having works exhibited here and that reflect his interests is something that the students really need and desire.
Jairo Espinal spoke to us about his story and how it felt to have it told in this medium.
No one's ever asked me before, how does it feel being from Rio and then being put over here in what was it, New York City's public housing for a bit. It was interesting. It felt kind of good because there's definitely I say a misconception about Latin America.
With a little dedication and a lot of passion, a truly inspirational story can be told through the flash of a camera. This is Justin Rodriguez reporting for BronxNet.
Two former Cy Young winners, 18 combined strikeouts. That equals the Bronx Sports Story of the Week. Talk about pitching resumes and a duel of aces in the Bronx. Sabathia, a 6-time All-Star and the 2007 Cy Young winner, matched up against King Felix, a 3-time All-Star and the 2010 Cy Young winner. Hernandez seemed to get the better of the duel early, but CC labored and hung tough long enough for the Yankee offense to come from behind and win 4-3 Tuesday night, opening the 6-game homestand on the right foot.
I just wanted to try to, like I said, minimize the damage and, make sure I can keep this game close enough where we can have a chance to win, and we were able to do that.
He goes out there, he pitches in, out, sliders, change up any time in the count. He made one mistake out there, and then after that he went back to being himself, struck out a couple guys, and he just isn't going to give in out there, and he's going to make you, try and hit his pitch, and it's usually not going to turn out the right way.
The Seattle Ace was mowing down the Bombers and held on to a 3-run lead in the 6th when Curtis Granderson, fresh off the DL, hit a grounder to Felix for an out that appeared to aggravate a back issue that has bothered him this season. With a proverbial crack in the armor, the Yankees chased Hernandez, scoring one of the 6th and 3 more in the 7th, highlighted by a 2 RBI double from Robinson Cano.
He don't miss a spot, and with anything you want when you face him, not really go to too deep in the game, because deep as he go, get it he gets.
The marquee matchup lived up to the billing.
Pitched great like he always does here. He seems to really enjoy pitching in Yankee Stadium, and didn't disappoint yet again, but we were able to stick around enough to go ahead and pile on and stay close to be able to be victorious at the end.
CC's a great pitcher, and just trying to go out there and match him and put seals on the board. And it's always fun to pitch here.
As a backdrop to the duel, a former Yankee known for dramatic home runs nearly sealed the victory. A hero in pinstripes last season, Raul Ibanez returned to Seattle in the offseason and showed that Yankee Stadium suits him regardless of his uniform.
He's a great pitcher, and he bears down when he needs to, and he's definitely not going to give you anything. He's a fierce competitor, and we were able to score 3 runs there, and they battled back.
Felix Hernandez is a great pitcher, and so is CC Sabathia. So you get 2 aces like that going at it, it's going to be a good game. And our bullpen kept it close the whole time. CC did a great job, and we were able to rally back there.
The Bronx Bombers had won 2 straight after Tuesday night's win, but the Mariners bounced back Wednesday thanks to 2 more home runs from the ageless wonder Raul Ibanez, and then went on to take 2 of 3 from the Pinstripers Thursday night, sneaking by in a 3-2 win. One that saw starter Andy Pettit exit early with an injury, and catcher Chris Stewart go down to injury as well. We're out at the ballpark last night, and manager Joe Girardi made no excuses, admitting that the Yankees had their chances, including stranding Brett Gardner, the tying run on 3rd in the 9th, with go-to guy Robbie Cano at the plate. Cano would ground out to short to end the comeback attempt. Girardi said in the post-game press conference, injuries are a part of the game, and some years you're going to have more than others, and right now we have a few. On the bright side, the Yankees did welcome back Curtis Granderson Tuesday. Here's the Granny Man on his return to the Bronx.
It was just like another opening day, nerves coming into it since it's the first game of the 2013 season, to be here in Yankee Stadium for the first time since last season. All those different things ran through in terms of emotions and excitement. So to get the first ball, to get the first at bat, to get the first game out of the way, definitely a bit of a relief. Now we move forward and just get back to playing baseball.
Yankees will continue the homestand this weekend against Toronto. Tonight's matchup features Hiroki Kuroda for the Yanks and Mark Burley for the Jays. Weather is starting to pick up in a good way. Come on out to the stadium this weekend. Go to Yankees.com and grab some tickets. We'll see you out at the ballpark. The Mets got into the win column Thursday night, a 5-2 final in their final game of 4 with St. Louis. The Cards took the first of 3 in that series against the recently struggling Mets. The Masons will continue their road trip in Chicago this afternoon, sending young ace Matt Harvey to the Hill at Wrigley. 2 more afternoon games for the Mets will follow Saturday and Sunday before they return home Monday to face Cincinnati at Citi Field, the first of an 8-game homestand that will culminate with the first 2 games of the Subway Series on May 27th and May 28th. Yankees-Mets on tap for the end of the month of May. From the diamond to the NBA hardwood, where the final weeks of May mean we are finally getting closer to crowning a champion in the association in June. The New York Knicks are fighting for their playoff lives after dropping 2 in Indiana during the week. The Orange and Blue won Thursday night in their return to Madison Square Garden, capturing Game 5 in an 85-75 win over the Pacers, who were without starting point guard George Hill. Hill suffered a concussion in Game 4 and might not return this series, a bonus for the Knicks. Series shifts back to Indiana for Game 6, and if the Knicks can once again extend, we'll return to MSG on Monday night for Game 7. Knicks head coach Mike Woodson tweaked the lineup in Game 5, and it paid immediate dividends. Reserve forward Chris Copeland got more minutes and made the best of them. He played 19 minutes and scored 13 points for the Knicks. Meanwhile, the San Antonio Spurs dispatched Golden State Thursday night and will now take on Memphis in the Western Finals after the Grizzlies took care of last year's West champs Oklahoma City, who without point guard Russell Westbrook and a subpar series from All-Star Kevin Durant could not return to the NBA Finals this year. In the East, Miami, who topped Chicago 94-91 to win that series in 5, awaits the winner of the Knicks-Pacers series. While Knicks fans in the city of New York rejoiced Thursday night, the same could not be said for the Ranger faithful. On the ice, the Rangers advanced to face the Boston Bruins, who also won their quarterfinal series in 7 games. The Rangers, who hadn't won a road Game 7, topped Washington 5-0 Monday night in D.C., but the Broadway Blue Shirts couldn't find the magic in Boston Thursday night, opening the semifinals in Beantown, where the Bruins won 3-2 in overtime. Boston's leading scorer, Brad Marchand, tallied his first of the postseason with 4:20 left in the extra session, leading Boston past New York in the first playoff game in 40 years between the 2 original 6 teams. The series continues in Boston Sunday and then shifts to New York for Games 3 and 4 on Tuesday and Thursday. On the gridiron, veteran quarterback David Garrard decided to retire from the Jets on Wednesday. A troubling knee will have him back out of the QB competition. Many out at Jets camp were stunned that the 35-year-old was stepping away, but Garrard said his knee wasn't up to the rigors of a 16-game season anymore. The recent news opens the door yet again for Mark Sanchez, who said he's ready to win the job. In other Jets news, running back and return man Joe McKnight said he plans to fight to the death to stay on the Jet roster. Open quote, "I don't care who they bring in, they're going to have to kill me to take my spot," close quote. The Jets have added Chris Ivory and Mike Goodson to the mix. Should be a fight in camp for both the starting QB and running back jobs for the Jets. As for the G-men, the Giants are interested in veteran safety Charles Woodson, who was released from Green Bay this offseason. The 36-year-old Woodson is a sure Hall of Famer. The question is, how much will it cost to get him in a Giants uniform, and how much does he have left to contribute? The same could be said for defensive stalwart Dwight Freeney, who would like to join the Giants, but the G-men are playing it safe with cap space, especially with wide receivers Victor Cruz and Akeem Nicks approaching hefty paydays. Time for some quick hitters. From the tennis world, the U.S. Open will be aired exclusively on ESPN networks beginning in 2015. And in soccer, 38-year-old David Beckham will call it quits after 2 more games. And in NASCAR, the All-Star race in Charlotte is set for Saturday night. And on a sadder note, from the world of NASCAR, retired stock car driver Dick Trickle died on Thursday from an apparent self-inflicted gunshot wound. He was 71. Those are the headlines. We hit the C-list for the most awesome thing a pregnant woman can do other than having a baby, of course. To all women out there watching the show and wondering what kind of dedication their crazy counterparts expect when it comes to sports, look no further than Chicago Blackhawk fan Donna Labano, who last Thursday night during Chicago's Game 5 win over Minnesota on May 9th went into labor in the 3rd period, but refused to go to the hospital until the game was over. No way a diehard fan was going to miss an elimination game to give birth to some baby. She said, "No way was I leaving. We are a Hawks family. I had to see the end of the game." My kind of woman. We've reached the end of the sports segment and the end of the show. That's your sports. I'm Bobby C. And that's all the time we have for you today. Thanks to all of our guests for joining us and, of course, the viewers for tuning in. Be sure to watch the Recablecast all throughout the weekend. See you next time.